Good.
Thank you for accepting my invitation and accepting to be on my show.
No, it was an immense pleasure, and I really like your content. I saw a few videos on your Instagram and YouTube, and it was really good. So yeah, it was. It sounds good to be here.
I've gone through your LinkedIn. I've gone through your
Mm,
profile, so it looks amazing.
mm,
I never did a
mm.
video with Indian
Thank you.
who have a very big
Hmm.
background.
I get it. It
So
ain't that big, but yeah, that's a goal.
it's my
Yeah.
pleasure you having on my show.
Thank you so much. Likewise.
So can you please introduce yourself to my audience?
Sure. So my name is Akash Sharma, and I'm a cybersecurity entrepreneur, you can say, and I've been into this domain for almost 5 years now. Um, okay, so I am also known with the name Terabyte, so that's kind of an alias name that people know me from. So I am the founder for this company called Byte Cyber Labs. It's a training company as of now. We are into the training sector, in education sector for cybersecurity courses. I personally have almost 20 certifications, I guess. That includes major league like CEH, ECSA, OSCP, RHCSA, MCSA, CCNA, and a few more. We can keep counting that, but let's keep that for another video. Right. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
So how old are you?
Oh, well, Sai, okay, that is something that I don't really disclose to a lot of people, but you can say I'm in my mid 20s.
Right. You have too many certifications. It shows how much interest you have on tech.
Absolutely, I started a little bit earlier because the moment I passed my 12th, I kind of focused more on tech because that was something that I lacked in my school time. And that's when I understood the reality, the ground reality of the corporate sector, like how exactly you can survive by, if you got to survive and if you want to, proceed further, you need to be the best among all of the competition. So getting a certification is the only way out. So yeah, that's what I focused on.
So where are you from?
I'm from Delhi. I was born in Mumbai, Maharashtra, but later we shifted in Delhi.
So what made you to come into this cybersecurity?
Okay, interesting question. So, Sai, I have been into like this question is a lot of time asked, so I'm kind of prepared for the answer. So, I started doing uh, ethical hacking per se for the word when I didn't even know it was called hacking. In my school days, like we had a group of friends and we used to crack games like Need for Speed and stuff like that, and we used to sell that among friends. So that was my first pocket money. So that's when I started to learn a few languages like assembly coding and C sharp and C++, which later actually developed and matured into a sense of responsibility that what exactly I can develop with these kind of stuff, how else they can be implemented, not just for the sake of cracking, but also into wireless when I got into debugging and everything. Then I understood like the reality of it. Like it is a well versed domain, which can be mastered if you know a few concepts properly. So I would say that I had this in me for a long time. Let's say when I was in my ninth or 10th class, but it matured after I passed my school. So yeah, that's how I got into it.
So you converted your passion into profession.
Yeah, that's what you can say that.
So you started with the games. You started concentrating on that and trying to
Yeah.
implement the thoughts that you have, and then today
Hmm.
you took that as a profession.
Absolutely. I was lucky enough to do that.
So you have your own company.
Sorry?
You have your own company.
That's right. It's a startup basically. We have been active for almost 8 months now in India and Canada.
So what are the services that you offer?
So as of now, we are focusing on certifications from EC Council and Offensive Security and CompTIA. and later we are actually also planning to introduce Microsoft as a certified partner for their own courses. As of now, we are more focusing on simplifying the training for these particular courses. We are looking into developing solutions and labs. Later, let's say after a year or so, or for 2022 or 2023, we are having plans to get ourselves indulgent services. So that's one of the plans. By 2025, we are planning to develop two different sections, one for the training and one for the services of my firm. So yeah, that's the plan.
So what is your size? What is the size of your company, and how many people are using your service?
Okay. Well, so the size is pretty small. Like, see, as I told, like it's a startup. So we have, as of now, we have less than 20 employees that are working in India. We have our partners in Canada, so they have their own staff. We can count that for somewhere around 20 to 30 staff again. So yeah, that's how it is. Like it's on a very small level as of now. We don't really need a lot of people, to be honest, because we are majorly focusing on marketing and communication. So we have a few people for that. Other than that, for content development and training, I think 4 to 5 people are already involved into that. So we can handle that much as of now.
Okay, so cyber security means you
Hmm.
offer security.
Yeah. See, that comes under the services part, wherein we approach to a company to provide the security to them, right? As of now, we are just focusing on the training, wherein we are training the students or the participants who enroll for the training. But for services part, there are certain parameters that we have to qualify as a company, which we are not qualifying yet. Like there are certain licenses that we have to take, and because of this lockdown, we are not even able to open the office properly. So there are some things we are lacking on, but we plan to do that by maybe in the next 2 years. We plan to get like full fledged into services.
Okay, presently you are giving training to the students.
Absolutely.
The subject is cyber security.
Absolutely. There are different certifications, like there are the different organization who provide you certificates. Like you might have heard of AWS. They give you certified associate certificate, right?
Yeah.
So similarly, there are different organizations like EC Council, like Offensive Security, CompTIA. So these organizations basically accredit you as a certified ethical hacker, which is recognized by companies. So you need to have a proper training for that so that you can appear for the exam and get the certificate. So that's what we provide. We extend the trainings for those professional courses.
So how many students are have enrolled right now?
So far, if you talk about that, as for my personal track record, I might have trained. Okay, I'm not bragging about it, but I might have trained more than 1,500 so far in India and Canada.
It's a very big number, man, for a single
Yeah,
man.
sure. I've been doing it for 5 years now. Come on. What do you
5 years.
expect?
Oh
Yeah.
my
The
God.
company actually started just now. I will tell you, like, I started to decide to, give it a name, a professional name, by Cyber Labs. But before this, I have been doing like multiple workshops, seminars, training programs in banks like SBI, in PNB, in HDFC, in colleges like Sharda University, ABT University, Gautam Buddha University. In multiple universities, I have already delivered trainings. So yeah, I've been doing this for a while, so 1,500 won't be a wrong number to say. Yeah.
Okay. So you are a single individual who are managing everything.
As of now, yeah, I am acting as a like an one-man show, but I should be giving credit to my team as well, who've been working hard for this.
Awesome. You have a website?
Yeah, sure. It's bytecyberlabs.com.
Okay. So why this name?
Okay, yeah, interesting question. So as I told you, my alias name is Terabyte. It have another story why I choose that name. So me and my partner basically were just like sitting at a cafe and we were thinking about the name for the company to register that. So we thought of different permutations of names. So we thought like By Cyber Labs looks professional, looks attractive, and was unique as per the Google SEO mandates. So We just registered the domain and it got a really good response on Instagram and Facebook. So we thought to go with that one.
So you give training almost to 1,500 students. I'm sure. Can I call you as an expert in cybersecurity?
Uh, okay. Well, as per my theory, I feel that nobody can be an expert in any domain because I have spent more than 5 years, off the records. I have spent more than 5 years in cybersecurity. I still don't consider myself an expert because I am keep learning. I keep just learning new stuff every day because I have been learning AI for a few while, and then I shifted to ML and PyTorch and everything. So I will say like, okay, I know a thing or two about cybersecurity. I have the certifications, but I won't consider myself as an expert ever. But you can say, yeah, I can be somebody who can be of help in terms of training.
So I'm into infrastructure. I'm presently taking training for solution architect associate level. So I have
Hmm.
completed my master's in software engineering and graduation in computer science and engineering.
That's
So
great.
is so I know nothing about cybersecurity. I know that is one of the
It's okay.
technology. So can you tell
Right.
in detail what it is?
Okay. Well, cybersecurity is a professional way of calling ethical hacking. You might have heard of this term a lot. Ethical hacking is something that is, overused, and it is the most irrelevant term that I feel because hacking is not illegitimate, I will say. It's just a process. Okay, it's hacking is basic a simple process, right? If I close you in a single room and I ask you to find a way out of it, you're basically hacking your way out of it, right? You have to find the loophole. Cybersecurity is all about finding the loopholes and fixing the loopholes. The technologies we work with might be different. It might be a database, it might be a cloud system, it might be a single, smartphones, smartwatches, could be anything. But the main goal is to find the risk, the vulnerabilities, the loopholes, and to fix them. That's cybersecurity, right? Now, when it turns out that somebody else is also doing the same thing but with the wrong intention, that is a criminal offense, and that's what makes hacking sound bad, right? So that's cybersecurity in a nutshell: finding vulnerabilities and fixing them. That's all about it.
So for websites and mobile applications and
Hmm.
any kind of web based or mobile any kind of applications, you find the loopholes where there is a ways
Absolutely.
and you will close it and you will not allow third person to enter into that. That is what you the job.
Exactly. Absolutely. So I tell it this way that every um, hacker can be a developer, but not every developer can be a hacker. Because when you're developing a specific framework or application or website, your main focus is to provide the functionalities, right? You don't really focus on the fact that how these functionalities can be, compromised or how they can be attacked. So as a security expert or hacker in simple terms, we have to look into the factors and we have to look into the different vulnerabilities where the application is lacking security. Let's say if there is a login form, I we have to look into how many other ways we can bypass the login form so that we don't have to, give the credentials, or maybe we can obtain somebody else's credentials. So there are different kind of factors that we have to look into. So that's pretty much.
So how many applications have you observed and how many loopholes that you found in your life?
Okay, Sai. See, in our domain, cybersecurity is something really professional thing, okay? And there is this side thing that we have. It's called bug bounties. So bug bounty is a concept where you find a vulnerability in an application. Let's say any XYZ website. Let's say you find a vulnerability on Facebook, and then you want to report it that there is the security flaw in your application. So you report to Facebook, and in exchange, they give you some rewards. Now, that can be a monetary reward, that can be any kind of reward. So that's what bug bounties are about. So bug bounty is also nowadays, becoming a professional thing. because companies are hiring bug hunters for finding vulnerabilities. So as a bug hunter myself, I have found vulnerabilities in websites like Swiggy, in Zomato, in NASA, in Indian government websites, a lot of them. Uh, there is this Belgium trains, this one company in Belgium, of course. There are a few, so I don't remember exactly all of them. Yeah, there are a few universities like Harvard, Columbia University, maybe Delhi University also. I don't know, but yeah, that's one of them. Yeah.
It looks like you are a keen observer.
Yeah, of course. I like observations. Yeah.
So, what are the rewards that you got for your observations?
Okay. Of course, who doesn't want some extra cash? Why, right? So that was one thing. But in exchange, sometimes you get Amazon coupons, sometimes you get swags. By swags, I mean that can be, accessories like hoodies or stationaries or stuff like that. I want to show you one. I kind of found a vulnerability in RBL Bank. They gave me this card holder. So
Wow.
that's one thing. So yeah, so it's just like that. So they give you cash, they give you in kind or in cash rewards, but the main focus here is to gain the experience out of it. It's not, of course, like the rewards are something that we all crave for, but we participate in that for the reward, but we take the experience with it as well. So having an accreditation from a company that you find a vulnerability and you were rewarded for it, that really adds up a lot in your resume, in your professional, exhibition, like how you're in your professional representation. So that's also one thing that we look for.
It gives you high when you found this kind of a negative or anything that is that should be fixed. It gives you high as a person who is interested in that particular subject. So, and in
Absolutely.
addition, the additional thing is you're getting reward.
Absolutely. That's like a plus point that you're being rewarded and your resume is going to be better. So why
Yeah.
not? So, yeah.
So
But
amazing,
it
man.
ain't easy as it sounds.
Yeah. So you have a
Mhm.
very big profile, man. You found a lot of bugs and a lot of sites. So you see the user interface, or how you don't know how the code is, how you found, how you find that kind of error is
Well,
there in that particular site.
okay. Well, in cybersecurity, there's this concept of we call reverse engineering. Here we actually think the complete opposite way a developer thinks. So as a developer, as I said earlier, that you look into providing the functionalities. So what we do as hackers, we try to debug the whole functionality into different sections. And in those sections, we look for different vulnerabilities. So the best part is that we know how the functionality is working. Let's say if I have to find a bug or find a vulnerability in Instagram, right? So I have to understand the complete backend of Instagram first, like how it's actually is working, how it's made or how how everything is working in the back. So I can understand like if I am pressing this particular button, what's going to be the response. Then I'll look into the factor like if I can manipulate the response, because let's say if I am logging in with an invalid credential, and if I can manipulate the response that is coming from Instagram, I can make it a valid login, valid login attempt. So there are different tools, technologies, methods that we use. Um, of course, they are all legitimate. There's nothing like there's a taboo that I hear this from a lot of parents, for students, and everyone, that why learn hacking, because it's of course it's a federal crime, but it is not actually. It's a simple taboo in India that hacking is a crime. It's not. Using, of course, like if you're making a right, it can be used by the military people. It can also be used by the terrorist. It's up to you how you want to use your knowledge. You see, so learning hacking is not bad, but using it appropriately is something that is important. Coming back to the topic, how I actually know is with the help of some tools. Of course, there are some things that we have. and we use them. I want to name a few tools like Burp Suite, Wireshark, debuggers. There are a lot of debuggers like Immunity and Ollie. So the people who are from the cybersecurity domain, I'm pretty sure like they will understand these tools. But yeah, you can Google them later.
So, like you said, you understand, the by clicking particular buttons, how it is responding and where it is going, in which page you are landing, and you will understand.
Mhm.
You will think, this is how it works. This may be
Exactly.
the code. This may be the code.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, okay, so you imagine and you just put the code, and you think that this
It's
this
not
this
okay.
may be used in order to
Uh,
uh, display
eh,
this.
yeah, somewhat, somewhat. I won't use imagine because that's not how it works. Okay, I'll give you an example. Let's say I give you a task of breaking down a chair with only two hits. Okay, so for that you have to understand like how the chair was built, where are the weak points, and then you'll hit twice on that weak point so that it break down. Right. It's exactly the same thing we do. If you give us an application, we look into the application thoroughly. We look into every single piece of code that is available, every single functionality that is available, and then we use our hits, like our methods, to find and confirm the vulnerability. That's basically the whole process. So I wouldn't say imagination. We just what we do is called assessment.
Okay, so which means the if you understand nowadays, every company is shifting to the cloud.
Absolutely.
Everybody is shifting to the cloud, and the you people are very important in order to maintain that data secured.
Mm.
So what future is going to be, and how what is your role is going to be?
That's a good question. What is going to be the future? Of course. Okay, so of course, like cloud is something that is on a high role these days in multiple companies, organizations, even in government sectors. Like people are, they are shifting to the cloud. So even if we are also going to, tie up with a German company. It's a cloud-based company for trainings. I don't want to disclose the name yet. But okay, if you understand cloud in a nutshell, it is just a combination of a server and a web application for the interface. A server is nothing else but another system that is, located somewhere else to remotely access it. So that's pretty much the infrastructure for the cloud. Now, the technologies that are involved for all the data transaction can be completely different. For instance, if we talk about AWS, AWS have its own curriculum when it comes to security testing, right? You have to learn AWS thoroughly. First of all, you have to understand what AWS is. Then we have to find the vulnerabilities. We have to learn the methodologies, how to find it. So, of course, it's going to be challenging for the beginners who are getting into cybersecurity to learn cloud because that's not something that traditional curriculums teach like in school or somewhere. They don't really teach a lot about cloud based communications or transactions in that depth, of course. But yeah, it's something that is getting important. If you say in Israel, like they have already started cloud computing and AI from their high school itself. So that is some great revolution and I think it's going to be the future in Indian curriculum soon as well. But yeah, the future is definitely going to depend on cloud a lot because that's the most easiest and the most convenient way of data communication. So yeah, that's I'm pretty sure like the demand for security is also going to increase for the same. So yeah, that's my take on that.
So as a trainer, you
Mhm.
tell your students how to think, how not to think.
Absolutely. See, whatever you learn, your morality, your purpose, and your motive to learning that particular concept is also important. Again, I'll give an example. Let's say of self-defense. Like if you're learning it to hurt somebody, it's wrong. But if you're learning to save yourself or do the good to the society, it's absolutely right because that's something morally and ethically good that you're doing, right? It's exactly the same when it comes to ethical hacking, when it comes to cybersecurity. That when I'm like mentoring students after training or even before training, sometimes I do mentoring sessions. So even then I actually explain the importance of your morality, because I have, seen 1,000 cases where, students as low as of the age of 15 or 14 years old learn this thing somehow, I don't know, from whatever resources, and then they do some mischievous stuff, and then they get caught, and then there is a criminal offense against their name. So they don't really realize the seriousness of the situation, that this is actually, legitimate crime if you do it for some wrong reasons. I get a lot of Instagram DMs on Facebook as well, like, if you can hack my girlfriend account, and if you can hack my uh, my friends, can you give me his password, can you hack his WhatsApp and stuff like that. Let me just tell you, okay, I don't know if I can cuss, but it is complete bullshit. First of all, Instagram is a $1 billion company. It is not that easy to hack Instagram. Trust me. If you're paying somebody for that, you're gonna waste your money. But that's one thing that I always try to explain to students, even if they are not, a part of cybersecurity domain. That understanding how security works is always important, because you are 24/7, you're going to be a part of technology around you. You have smartwatches, you have Wi-Fi at your place, you have different gadgets all together. You need to understand like how they actually work, just instead of just using them like a layman, like a caveman, right? So yeah, that's one thing I always tell to my students, like, being morally and ethically correct is always important.
Awesome. So, what is the biggest cyber attack that you seen in your life, and have you understood how what are the tools that they used, and how that happened?
Okay, yeah, sure. Have you, if you're from the technical domain, you may have heard of this attack called WannaCry. I don't know if you
No.
have. So WannaCry is a ransomware. So ransomware, okay, let's understand the term. So ransom is something that you ask in exchange for any kind of like torture or something. So it's like somebody's get kidnapped and they ask for money. So that's basically ransom money. Okay. So what these attackers were doing, they created a ransomware. It is kind of a virus, you can say in layman terms. It's a malware. Right. So when it comes in your computer files got encrypted. And in order to decrypt those files, in order to get them back, you have to pay them in Bitcoins. So that's how it was working. It was one of the most mischievous and the most toughest to break ransomware so far in the history. And the guy who made it, of course, was caught as well, but it was being used by thousands of black hat hackers on the dark web, and multiple companies were being infected with that, and they were asking like millions of dollars were lost in that as well, because a lot of people paid. And yeah, that's how it actually worked. So when I first encountered WannaCry, I was of course scared because I didn't really know like how it worked. Luckily, the laptop I was using was like my testing laptop, so it was like a dummy laptop, so it didn't really matter to me like if it was infected. I just like completely cleared it out and used it again. But when I started to learn about it, we figured out that somebody else is already like this great researcher is already doing his work on WannaCry itself. And the more I understood the working of it, I actually felt that how smart a person can be when it comes to destruction. Because so far we don't really have such a security that gives you 100% security. There's nothing like that. It's a complete illusion. It can give you a firewall, it can give you like a protection, but there's no such thing like 100% secure. But when it comes to stuff like these, like WannaCry or Petya, although there are other ransomwares also. So these ransomware are so intelligently designed that you wonder that if this all, if this all intelligence was put into security, it would have given a very different perspective. It would have given a very different product. So that was one of my most interesting malware that I researched about. So that was WannaCry.
So not everybody into tech. So how
Mhm.
what is the percentage of the internet users are there in the world, and how many people are aware of what is secure and what is not secure?
Okay. See, I was bad with maths since my high school, so I'll be really bad with numbers. But if I give you like an assumption, okay, I'll give you a very small scale example. I am a security expert myself. In my family, luckily, I have already explained a lot to my mom and dad. But in my relatives, I see that my close relatives, none of them actually understand technology at all. They use WhatsApp, they use Instagram, Facebook, Skype, Zoom, everything, but they don't understand the concept behind it. They don't really bother to understand. That's the main problem. The problem is not about the people giving out the awareness. There are a lot of them. If you go if you go on Instagram, YouTube, there are thousands of influencers who are giving awareness on security because it's a trending topic these days. But it's actually on people that they don't really bother to understand it. They have a functionality, they want to use it, and that's it. They don't really want to understand like how securely they can use it. It's none of their business, to be honest, because they haven't been affected yet. If you know, recently there was a Paytm scam that was running on. Like a lot of people were being scammed in exchange of Paytm KYC, right? uh, it was really funny to know that a lot of my relatives called me that, okay, Akash, there's this thing happened. Can you get my money back? Can you hack his Paytm and get my money back? And I was like, that's not how it works. I mean, of course, like nobody can hack Paytm and get your money back. Why did you pay it in the first place? You could have called me, or you could have texted me, or you could have simply understood the fact that no, Paytm will never call you for this. So that's a main problem, that they don't understand the fundamentals of a specific technology. So I will say that I don't want to give it a number, but I will say major part of the society that we're living in does not really bother to understand technology. Right. It's not that there is lack of resources. It's not like there is lack of awareness. They just don't want to do it. So until unless this motivation is there, nothing can happen. So that's one thing that should be focusing on, because security threats and cyber attacks are just like increasing every single day. So that's one thing that should be focusing on.
So which means every company in the world needs a person who knows cyber security.
Absolutely. There is, if you know the CXOs, like CEO, CFO, right? These are the chief executive officers, like chief officers who maintain the higher level decision makings and everything. So there's this designation called Chief Information Security Officer, CISO. So the responsibility of CISO is to ensure the security for the company. So yes, these things are already there. It is just the problem that when, okay, you already know, like India is a country with thousands of startups every month. If not every month, let's say every 2 3 months, there are hundreds of startups there. But the main problem with the startup is that if they are launching a new application or new solution, they don't really care about the security, and that's one problem. So yes, every company, no matter what business you are in, if you are connected with technology, you need security. So that's for sure.
So what are the applications right now which is running, which are more secure, which have
Okay.
less attacks?
Okay. You can definitely count in Facebook for that. Facebook claims to have, like, that's one of the strongest security that they have. It's an 8 level security, so yeah, it's quite good. After Facebook, I would rank Telegram. If you know Telegram, it's pretty secure. They have an open challenge that if you hack them, they will give you millions. So yeah, good luck for that. If you can break their encryption, they will give you millions. So that's the bounty. After that, I will say WhatsApp. WhatsApp is now quite secure than it used to be earlier. These are on social media platforms. Instagram is quite good as well because it's part of Facebook, of course. If you, yeah, there are a lot of them. Okay, yeah. In every domain, let's say for food delivery, there is Swiggy, there's Zomato, um, there's this Grofers. Grofers is quite secure because I've personally worked with a lot of security engineers at Grofers, so I know it's quite good. And yeah, Amazon, of course, why not? Amazon is a multi-billion dollar company, so it's one of the richest ones. So of course it's secure. So yeah, these are a few applications.
Can I say more income? The company which gets more income have more more secured applications.
I won't agree to that because if you know Microsoft, you know Microsoft is like multi-billion dollar as well. Like Bill Gates is quite rich, right? But every day, if not every day, every week, there is new security vulnerability that is introduced to Windows computers. There are still a lot of vulnerabilities that are available on the internet that you can find and you can use it to hack anybody's computer. So it is not necessary that if a company is making good money, they are secure. It cannot be said, because you can hire people to secure you, but you cannot hire the surety that it will be the 100% secure, right? So that's one thing. So yeah, I mean, of course, like security measures are taken every day, but you cannot ensure it to the 100% level. So yeah.
I'm sure in your experience you might have seen a lot of hackers who attacked other websites or apps. Your
Yeah.
observations. So,
Hmm.
can you tell me some reasons why they do that?
Okay, I'll share an experience with you. So in 2019, I was working with DRDO, that is the Defense Research Organization. So we were assigned a task to find some darknet websites, right, on the darker side of the internet. So we were supposed to, geolocate the people who are operating from India specifically, especially from Delhi, because there were a few websites who were continuously making attacks on some government websites. So we were supposed to do that, and after almost 7 months of chase, we were actually able to geolocate three of the operators that were from Delhi itself. So after the arrest, and you will not believe, one of them was 17 years old, right? The others were like adults, like 35, 40, but one of them was 17 years old, and I was really shocked to see that he was not even he was a juvenile. And it was really bad to know that such a talented guy was doing it all for bad reasons. Like he was quite intelligent, undoubtedly. It was quite tough to trace him as well, for sure. But when we kind of like interviewed him or interrogated, we actually got to know that it was all for the wrong reasons. Like they do it for fun. They do it for, the kind of thrills they get after doing it. Like when you do bad things, you get a good feeling about it. So that's of course bad. So again, the main problem here is the lack of morality. That the interest of using something for destruction is the actual cause behind these black hat hackers. Like instead of creating something good, they believe in destructing something good might give them fun. So that's one of the biggest problem this domain face, that the lack of morality, like why you're doing something good or why you're doing something bad. That's the question. If you can differentiate between the situations, you will never do anything wrong, of course. But if you cannot, and if you fell for these kind of stuff, like let's attack a website and take that down, or let's leak somebody's data, or some let's hack into somebody's webcam and see what they're doing. So of course these sounds good as a teenager or as a child or as a juvenile. They find it funny for the moment, but later it develop as a habit, and they just develop it as an interest, which is really dangerous. So that's one of the reason I will say.
So, where these thoughts are coming from, destructive thoughts, how they are getting educated?
Okay, I'll tell you that. Uh, well, for this, I will majorly blame the lack of education. Okay, see, uh, let's take. I'm gonna like deviate a little bit from the topic, but I'll come back to it very soon. Sex education is something that is also not a very common thing in India. Like they don't talk about sex, they don't teach about sex. This actually creates a curiosity. Now, that curiosity can either be good, that you want to learn about it and then you become a doctor or something like that, or an activist. But again, if you learn about it in a wrong way, you start to get a craving for it. That, okay, you know what? That girl is cute. Let me uh, try to approach her with any reasons for any intentions, and that actually further matures into a rape mentality. Similarly similarly when a person is taught about technology and they are not given the actual moral values, they actually fell into these kind of stuff because nobody's keeping an eye on it, nobody's telling them it's wrong or it's right. They have a sense that whatever I'm doing is right, of course, because nobody's going to catch me. And later that develops into a habit, and that habit develops into a mentality that they start believing that doing all this stuff is right. So I will say the lack of education is the most important thing. Getting educated is not all about getting knowledge. Everybody even if you know Ravana from our ancient histories, he was also quite intelligent, but of course he was an evil guy. Similarly, Hitler was quite intelligent, he was an evil guy again. But the point is, like, everybody have the knowledge, they have the intelligence, but the using the intelligence is one of the most important thing. So they are not taught how to use the intelligence in a very ethically and morally right way. So that's one of the biggest problems. So if that is taught, I think this kind of stuff won't take place.
So, who is the person in your life who is a hacker and who is a bad hacker, which means who used his intelligence for the negative purpose?
Oh well, okay. I believe in this. I read this quote somewhere that if you hang out with five idiots, you're gonna be the sixth one, and if you hang out with 5 millionaires, you're gonna be the sixth one. So that's something that I implemented in my life as well. If I'm gonna hang out with the bad people, of course I'm gonna be one of them. So I don't really do that, but I always try, if I can, if I can convert someone with this kind of modality into a good one. So I try that for sure. I have encountered a lot of students, of course. I have encountered a lot of people who wanted to learn this for bad reasons, but now they are on a very good positions in many companies. They are working in Deloitte and KPMG, PwC, on very good positions. So it feels good about it. Like, the person started from a very bad intention, but now they are doing good. So yeah, that's one thing that I look into.
So, security, is that possible for a human being to provide 100% security? You said that. You said already it is not possible, but I'm asking, I'm
Hmm.
repeating the question.
Okay. Okay, let me explain this to you this way. There is a sealed room, like completely sealed room, no entrance, no exit. Okay. You are in that room. So how can you say that if it is gonna be 100% impenetrable, like you cannot get out of it? It is not possible. There is always a way. There can be a possibility that somebody got a bulldozer and break down the whole wall. There is a possibility. Or maybe there is a dynamite that explodes the walls down. You can get out of it, right? So what I'm trying to say is that this might sound a little bit superficial, that how would somebody get a bulldozer or how would somebody get a dynamite? But the point is, if there is a possibility, there is always a possibility. It's always going to be unsecure. Like, if there is even a slightest possibility of an attack, it's going to be not secure, I would say. So 100% security is always a myth. N- and it's always also a myth that something is completely unhackable. Everything can be hacked, but you just need to understand either sometime there is a vulnerability or sometime you have to create a vulnerability, right? So it's just about that. The smartest guy who can understand how to create one, he finds how to how to actually compromise. So I cannot say that it is possible to have 100% security, but yes, we can. What we can do is we can just keep our guards up all the time, and we can try to look into the next attack based on the risk and other vulnerabilities. So that's the best thing we can do.
So you're saying that until the day internet is there and the human being is alive, the negative will be there.
Okay, I cannot predict about the future because I am also interested as Elon Musk about the artificial intelligence. Because I'm not sure like how big it's gonna be. But yeah, so far what I understand, let's say for another decade or so, it's not gonna be that way. It's nothing's gonna be 100% secure for sure.
So as a person who thinks constructively on who wants to work uh, on the positive side and who wants to be for the development of the world, development of the country, and
Mm-hmm.
be on the positive side. So
Mm-hmm.
what do you think that works? You said there is a ethical hacking. That is what we should know. We should understand. So
Mm-hmm.
ethics. In that only there is ethics. Can I say everybody knows ethics and everybody knows that what to do and what not to do, and or as a trainer, you are going to teach everybody what not to do as much as possible in your life.
I I am nobody to tell what to do and what not to. It's morality can be subjective, can be varying on individual to individual. Let's say if climbing a tree is right for me, it can be wrong for you, right? So we can differ on that part, but we have to understand that as as a human being, as a person, what's right for others, what's right for the society, and it's not giving harm to anyone, it's absolutely fine. So, morality is a very complex thing to understand because sometimes we differ to agree to some points, sometimes we differ to agree to some instructions that are given to us, like you should never lie or you should never break things. Some people just don't agree with that and they do it because they feel that it's good, but we have to explain it in such a way that ethics and morality ethics and morals are something that builds the baseline for the survival of humanity. Because if there are no ethics, there are no morals, it's gonna be all like caveman and savages. They're gonna be like murders everywhere. Everybody, like, let's say if I don't have any ethics or moral, I'll kill my neighbor and get there all the money, right? It's gonna be that way. So we are not caveman anymore. We are civilized people. There are certain norms, like certain rules and regulations and certain models that we have to follow in order to survive in the most humankind way. So that's what they have to understand, that making all this destruction is not going to do any good to them. It's just a dopamine hit that they get for that particular while, and that's all. It's not gonna create a career for them. It's not gonna give them a happy life or anything like that. So yeah, that's one thing I'll say.
So coming to your achievements, what is the thing that that made you feel very proud that you did?
Okay. Uh, okay. So the day I was honored by the DRDO chief for the contributions that I made was one of the most prestigious day for me because I was, that day it kind of all started coming back to me, like how how it all started, where I began from. And that was one of the biggest achievement I got so far in person, that the chief of DRDO is like kind of giving me the reward or something. So yeah, that felt really good. So that was one of my biggest achievements so far.
And what drives you to wake up in the morning and search for the bug in the application?
Okay, I'll tell you, nothing does. Okay, it's a very very tiresome, process. But the thing, it's on you. Like if you take your if you lose and if you take it as a motivation that what, I'm gonna find it anyway. So that kind of thing that just hits me, like it's all about curiosity. I'm just curious about almost everything. Even if I'm using a power bank, I need to know how it's actually working. I'll just open it and I'll reassemble it again, and I'll see. I just want to know like how it's actually working. I should be knowing my technology. So that curiosity actually just drives me every day. Like I want to know everything. I want to be the know-it-all guy, but I know it's not possible. But I just try that.
Who is your inspiration for this? For being curious.
Good question. There are a lot of them. Okay. Um, okay. I'll say first of all the people from tech. Of course, it's gonna be cliche. Elon Musk. He is one of the biggest like inspiration for me. I've grown up watching his videos and podcast and everything. After Elon Musk, it's gonna be Jeff Bezos for sure. Like money wise, he's my idol, not intelligence wise. As per his business sense, he's one of my idol. If you know, there's this motivational speaker called Jay Shetty. So he's also one of my inspiration for like my day-to-day life. So yeah, these are a few people.
What do you think that worked for them to be in that position? The people that you
Ah,
mentioned now.
yeah, that's an easy answer, but the process is not easy. It's called persistence. Your consistency. That's what actually worked for them. All of them have failed multiple times. So I can understand like persistency is something that is really important in life, like in whatever you do, no matter if you are an employee or if you are an entrepreneur, whatever you are, like even you are persistent with your videos, you keep on making new videos, you keep on making content. So that's how you're getting recognition. So persistency is something that I understand is the key to the success of their level. So yeah.
So, what is the common thing that you observed that is there in them and you?
Oh, okay. Well, that's a big question. I cannot really, compare myself with them at all. But one thing that I feel that I just try to, impersonate their mentality sometimes. I learn a little bit about how they think, how they plan their day, and I try to, implement that. I'm not 100% perfect with that, but yes, I try. Like if you say with Jay Shetty, he was a monk, and later he turned into a speaker, like a motivational speaker. So he gave me a very good habit of making routines, making schedule, like you know, dividing time in a very efficient way. So like these kind of stuff, I just keep learning from them and try to implement in life. So yeah, I can say like these stuff can be learned. I cannot say like I am similar to them, but yes, I'm just trying to learn.
So, 1500 people got affected because of you positively, and how many people are going to get affected in your life? Uh, and what will be
Hmm.
the positive energy percentage that you are going to
Oh,
create when you
okay.
are with your presence?
Every time I think about it, it just like kind of gives me like a very good vibe and a little bit goosebump that 1500 people is a very small number that I planned because I plan to exponentially multiply it into millions, of course. I just don't want to settle down for this training part. I want, I have plans for longer term future as well. I plan to retire by the age of 30 for sure, and then I have plans after that as well. I don't want to disclose that yet, but yeah, I plan to do it even further on a very large scale, and yeah, let's hope for the best for that. So far, it's
So,
going good. I hope it will go good as well.
so there will be a lot of people who are into IT, who are from tech industry, from anywhere on this planet, will be watching and listening to you right now. So,
Probably.
uh, do you have anything to say to them, or any collaborations, or anything that you can do with them, or any message?
Uh, Absolutely. See, I don't want to say like if I want to collaborate with anyone. If I can be of anybody's help, just let me know. I'll be really glad to help you out in any way, anyone actually. Um, I am easily approachable for sure. I can reply a little bit late sometimes, but don't worry, I will do that for sure. I'm easily approachable, so yeah, you can just leave a DM for any kind of stuff that you ask for. And yeah, anybody who's watching it, I just want to say, hang in there. Like I know things can be worse, things can be even worse than I can imagine as of now. But trust me, if you are believing in the process, if you're believing in the reason why you are grinding every day, I'm pretty sure like you will definitely achieve the heights that you actually want. Because it's not going to be easy. It's never going to be easy, building your own stuff. I'm pretty sure like when you started your own podcast like this, there were maybe like 10, 20, 40 views at max. Now you might be getting thousands of views, and maybe touch wood, you will get even millions views someday. But what uh, made you reach this level is your persistence. So again, I'm gonna say the same word. It might be repetitive, but yes, persistence is the key for sure. Just hang in there and keep grinding. It's gonna be all worth it. So that's all what I'll say.
So don't forget to see my mail or my message when I put to you when you become an expert and become very big in the
Of
world
course,
and become a
I
cyber
never do
security
that.
expert.
Thank you so much for that. And I'm of course like you're gonna be in my close friends list for sure. Don't worry about it. And I do reply everyone. It takes time sometimes, like a week or so, but I definitely do reply because trust me, like I get hundreds of messages on Instagram and LinkedIn everywhere, and then I have become a little bit lazy. That's one of my drawback in terms of replying. I've become a little bit lazy, but yeah, I'm working on it. So yeah, it will be a progress someday.
So at last, cyber security in 1 minute.
Hmm. Okay, cybersecurity in 1 minute. Oh, all right. Okay, nice one. So, cybersecurity is all about finding vulnerabilities, finding the ways how somebody can compromise you. It's all about, strengthening your own privacy, strengthening your own technology that you use on a day-to-day life. Cybersecurity is not just about hacking and breaking into stuff. It's about giving them the protection that they deserve. So cybersecurity is not a lethal weapon, but a great protection. So that's how I will phrase it. So yeah, it's just 30 seconds, but I think it's quite explanatory.
So at last, have you seen any videos of mine on YouTube and what you felt?
Yes, of course. I saw this video where you were like talking to I forgot the name. Just a second. I really want to quote it because I liked a few lines out of it. Just a second. So basically, your content is great. Your concept is great that you're talking to like anybody random in the world, and then you are giving out the content to the people who are actually willing to listen to them. Because trust me, creating content is really tough. I understand because I have been a content creator myself, and I know how tough it is to um, just put out some content, and you may or may not get a response out of it, and then still you keep making it. It's tough, and I'm really happy that you keep making it. Yeah, this guy, Vikas Solegaonkar. That was a really good one. I looked into his podcast and I found out that it was quite. It can be taken as an inspiration, or it can be taken as an advice that how he actually managed to do that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's one thing that I liked about it. And I've seen like you have a very diverse content for sure.
So have you seen two YouTube channels of mine or one?
I think I have only one, but I will like the link for the other one. I'll put a subscribe to it. Don't worry.
Yeah, one is Tech One, on which this
Okay.
video is going to be. In another one,
Awesome.
I in that I did more than 380 interviews from all over the planet.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. That's
So
that's great, man. Do you have it on Spotify too?
everywhere.
You have it on Spotify? Awesome,
Yeah.
man. That's awesome. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Smart Cherry's thought. Nice one. Hmm, that's pretty cool. Good one. Okay, I've subscribed to both of your channels now.
So with this video series, I want to share one thing as a person who is into tech. I want to share one thing with you. I got the job opportunity through this video series to work in Canada as a
Awesome.
IT director.
Oh, that's awesome, man. I'm really happy to know that. That's pretty good. Pretty good.
And
I'm really happy
yeah,
for you. That's nice.
and my company. head is watching this video and listening to this now.
Oh, that's amazing. If he's watching it, I would like to give my greetings to him as well. And I'm really happy for you that you made it this far. I completely understand because doing podcasts is not easy. Keeping persistence, it's not easy, and you're doing a really great job, man. Seriously.
I'm
If
thinking
there's
like
a
you.
recommendation I can give, I'm gonna give that on LinkedIn for sure.
I'm thinking like you. You search for the loopholes in the applications. I search
Oh.
for the people who will not think like me,
Okay. Nice approach. Nice approach. I like it.
so
Nice
that
one.
I can know their perspective and their views how they think, so that I will
That's
understand
impressive.
they are better than me, or they know something that
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like that. Maybe they're from any profession. Maybe from he may be a
Mm-hmm.
doctor, army officer, police officer, a book writer,
Mm-hmm.
authors, anybody. So when you
Awesome,
have
man.
time, you see that video. And from India, I did very few videos, very few.
Mm-hmm.
So in that, this is one of the top and the best videos I can say. The productive
Oh, thank you
information.
so much. That it's my pleasure if I can provide you that content and that material that you can say it's the best one. And yeah, it's I'm really impressed by your profile now. It's pretty good, man. I'm really happy. I don't see a lot of successful podcast content creator, and to see someone and getting an interview, it's awesome, man. That's good.
And I got success in very less time. Like in 1 year, I got like
Yeah.
360 videos. Like you said, persistence. I don't know the meaning of
Trust
that
me.
word, but I do videos every day. Like 3 videos every day, 2 videos. Like yeah,
Awesome.
cybersecurity
That's
is not my
pretty
subject,
awesome.
not my subject. But still, I want to know what
Yeah.
it is, how it works, and
This
when I can.
curiosity,
Yeah.
I wish that this curiosity is something that you people like you and me can create into other people as well, because this learning curiosity is one of the most important thing that we need these days. Students actually need to learn it. So awesome job, man. Great job.
Nice meeting you, man. Thank you for giving me your
Absolutely.
valuable time. And once I asked you,
Pleasure
you
is
didn't
all
said
mine.
no.
It's absolutely okay. I made a schedule, and I can say it was all worth it for sure. I really liked this conversation, and thank you so much, man, for featuring me as well. I hope you grow even exponentially, and don't forget me if you do so.
I'll say the same.
Someday, I'm pretty sure like we'll be sharing a stage on TED Talks.
Yes, 100%. Maybe
Absolutely.
on the international platform.
Yeah, TED Talks. That's what I say. Not TEDx. TED Talks. Yeah,
Yeah. So,
sure.
can I put this video and audio clip on my YouTube channel, social media, internet, podcast, website, everywhere with your permission?
Absolutely. You have my permission for that, and I'll love that if you do so. Don't forget to tag me for sure. I would like to share that as well.
Yeah. Do you
All right.
have any websites or any links of yours which you want me to share under this video?
I'll share the links on your Instagram if you don't mind that. All right.
Okay. I
All
will
right.
check it. And will you give online training for the people who wants to learn cybersecurity?
Yes, of course. I have my batches running already, and we are going to start new batches, I guess, from 16th of this month. So yeah, we keep running batches, at least 2 to 3 batches every month. So yeah, that's how it is.
Okay. People who are watching this, you have seen this video, you have understood what he said about the cyber security and how it works. And if you are thinking like going into this domain, definitely he's the right person to uh, tell you how it works.
Thank you. I would just want to say that if you're getting into cybersecurity, go with all your passion and curiosity. Go with all the morals and ethic. If not learning from me, learn from anywhere. If you need my help, just leave a text, and I'll definitely try to help you out as much as I can.
So thank you very much, sir, for giving me your time again. And
Thank
keep
you,
doing, keep.
Sai. Thank you, Sai. Yeah, keep doing great work. Just stay safe, stay healthy, and keep persistence. And yeah, good luck for you, man. Nice meeting you.
Take care.
Bye. Bye
Bye.
for now.
Yeah.